Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Okay, we were talking about the questions. So, the 14 questions you can see on the board, that is electromagnets are made of soft iron because soft iron has low retentivity and high coercivity force, high retentivity and high coercivity force, low retentivity and low coercive force, and low retentivity and low coercive force. So, low coercive force and high coercive force retentivity that we have seen because of our hysteresis curve, right. So, you are going to apply the field and the field intensity is going to become increased and become saturated. When it is reverse, it will not come in this way, it comes in this way. This point is called retentivity and the same it goes in this way and you will get. So, this kind of graph is for actually the soft iron. Okay. So, electromagnet must be means what? There should not be high coercivity. So, high coercivity means this magnetism is more and you can't take it back. Okay. So, that is why that coercivity and retentivity must be low. So, for this soft iron is used for the electromagnet. Electromagnet means it is a temporary magnet, it is not a permanent magnet. Okay. That is why coercivity must be, and this one, that is coercivity and retentivity must be less. Okay. So, low retentivity and low coercive force. So, next we are going to talk about the 15th question. A vibration magnetometer placed in magnetic meridian has a small bar magnet. Okay. So, magnetometer is nothing but which will having a magnetic needle. Okay. So, which is having a small bar magnet, nothing but a needle itself. So, the magnet executes oscillation with the time period of t is equal to 2 seconds. The time period t is equal to 2 seconds, it is given. Okay. Now, in Earth's horizontal magnetic field of 24 microtesla, horizontal magnetic field is given 24 microtesla is given. When the horizontal field is 18 microtesla, if the horizontal magnetic field 18 microtesla, then opposite to Earth's magnetic field, produce opposite to Earth's magnetic field, placing a current carrying wire, the new time period of the magnet will be, this is T1, this is T2. Okay. So, two magnetic field they have applied and we have to find out the time period. What is the expression for the time period? Time period is nothing but which is equal to 2 pi into square root of I by m into b. We never given anything here, we just given magnetic field. So, I can write down time period which is equal to time period 1 over root b, isn't it? This is b1 I am going to write down. So, next what happens, horizontal magnetic field of 24 microtesla it was there, when a horizontal field of 18 microtesla is produced opposite to the Earth's magnetic field, then what is the net magnetic field B2? B2 is nothing but B1 minus B2, isn't it, because opposite it is placed. So, 24 minus 18 is nothing but 6 microtesla. Okay. So, I can write down T2 which is equal to 1 by square root of B2. Now, T1 we know, right. So, I write down T2 divided by T1 which is equal to inversely proportional, so that I can write down square root of B1 by B2. What is B1? B1 is nothing but 24. What is B2? B2 is nothing but 6. So 4 which is equal to 2. So I can say that T2 is equal to 2 times T1, but T1 is nothing but how much? 2 seconds they have given already, right? So which is equal to 4 seconds. So answer will be D. Okay, this is the thing. So next we are going to talk about next question, that is needles N1, N2 and N3 are made up of ferromagnetic and a paramagnetic and a diamagnetic substance. So needles are given, that is nothing but N1, N2 and N3, okay, which is made up of ferromagnetic, paramagnetic and diamagnetic substance respectively. A magnet when brought close to them will be, a magnet brought close to them will be, attract all the 3 of them? No, it's not going to happen because both are not ferromagnetic. Attract N1 strongly, yes, seems right. N2 weakly, yes, that is also correct. And repel N3 weakly, that is right, isn't it? Next, let's see third and fourth options, what actually they have given. Attract N1 strongly, yes, but repel N2, no. And N3 and weakly, no, because paramagnetic substances are attracted feebly, isn't it? Weakly they are going to attract N1 and N2 strongly but repel N3, okay, no. So that what is the option? Option is B, okay. So these are all the conceptual questions we are going to get. So that was came for one of the KCET, okay. So here already all the questions we have discussed, like KCET as well as the NEET as well as JEE Mains questions together we are going to discuss here, okay. So it was there here, okay. So again practice. So next we are going to talk about the next question, which is also again appeared for KCET 2018. The strength of the Earth's magnetic field. The strength of the Earth's magnetic field is constant everywhere, zero everywhere, having very high value, varying from place to place on the Earth's surface. What is the answer? Is it constant everywhere? No, it is not constant because theta is going to vary. Because BH cos theta, BV sin theta and all there, BH sin theta, okay. Vertical component, horizontal component, everywhere magnetic field is not same. Zero everywhere, that is also not true. Having very high value, no, it is very low value. Then varying from place to place on Earth's surface, yes, it is. It varies from place to place on the Earth surface. And next we are going to talk about the one more question. Yeah, this is answer C, maybe, yeah, okay. So having 17, so that is actually varies from place to place, okay. So maybe till error we have done there, okay, nice. Next, a magnetic dipole of magnetic moment 6 into magnetic moment, which is equal to 6 into 10 to the power minus 2 ampere meter square, and moment of inertia, that is I is equal to 12 into 10 to the power minus 6 kg meter square, and performs oscillation in a magnetic field, that is B, which is equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 Tesla. The time taken by the dipole to complete 20 oscillations. Time taken by the dipole to complete 20 oscillation. How to calculate? How to calculate? Now let us see, we will calculate for, what is the formula? Just now we have discussed, that is nothing but T is equal to 2 pi into square root of I by mb, isn't it? So how I can calculate? So 2 into pi into square root of I is nothing but 12 into 10 to the power minus 6. M, that is 6 into 10 to the power minus 2. B is nothing but 2 into 10 to the power minus 2, which is equal to 6 to the 12, 1 into 10 to the power C. That is minus 2 cancels with minus 2, 4 is cancelled, minus 2 is remaining, so 2 pi into 10 to the power minus 1 is remaining. 2 3 is a, this 3.14 nearly, 2 3 is a 6.28 we are going to get, in divided by 10, that is nearly equal to 0.6 you are going to get. That is time period. Time period means what? That is for one oscillation. Now what is the question is asked? Time period for 20 oscillation is, time period of 20 oscillation is, that is nothing but when t is equal to, that is 0.6 into 20, which is equal to, isn't it? So that is nothing but 12 seconds, that is nothing but 12 seconds, okay, that is 0.6 into 20, 0.6 into 20, okay. Got all of you this answer? Yes, the answer will be, okay, answer is 12 seconds is again a type little mistaken, okay, actually it is C, answer is C, okay. So that is the thing. So we are going to move to the next question. The susceptibility of ferromagnetic substance is, the susceptibility of ferromagnetic substance. What do you mean by ferromagnetic substance, paramagnetic substance, diamagnetic substance? We know diamagnetic substance, they will produce opposite magnetic field, no. So susceptibility relation also we know. So what going to happen? Magnetic field susceptibility means for the paramagnetic substance, ferromagnetic substance, diamagnetic substance is negative, less, and paramagnetic substance little positive, but it is little very less, but it is positive, and ferromagnetic substance is very high, very high. So very high means how much? Which is the option you can see there? That is, it is very much larger than 1, isn't it? So answer is A, okay. So next we are going to talk about the next question, that is nothing but, that is chi, okay, that is susceptibility, okay. So the susceptibilities are chi 1 and chi 2 are susceptibility of a paramagnetic material at temperatures T1 and T2K respectively, that is chi 1 and chi 2, okay, that is at T1 temperature and T2 temperatures respectively. Then what we have to, that we have to find out, okay. What is the answer? Can you guess? Can you see? Okay. So what is the relation for the chi and temperature? What is the relation for the chi and temperature? Think, I can give you some time, think and find out. Very easiest question it is, very easiest question. You have to go for Curie's law, Curie's temperature, okay. So susceptibility is, okay, okay. Shall we move? See, susceptibility is inversely proportional to temperature. This is Curie's constant, it is T1. This is chi 1. Susceptibility is inversely proportional to this temperature. Now I can write down from this, that is Curie's temperature, which is equal to chi 1 into T1, Curie's constant, which is equal to chi 2 into T2. So we can write down chi 1 T1, which is equal to chi 2 T2. In this way we can write down, okay. So this is what from susceptibility we are going to get. That is option is B, chi 1 T1 and chi 2 T2, okay. Next we are going to talk about the one more question which is displayed on the board. Just go through it and read that and tell me the, and you can guess the answers. Okay. So next one is 21st. At certain place the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is 3 Gauss. You know 3 Gauss means in Tesla you have to write down. Okay. So this kind of questions will come means you have to first see whenever the question is comes, first you have to see the data and the unit of answers. If the unit of answers and the question data is matches, no need to worry, because here also same thing, you are not going to change any of the units because the answer is in Gauss. So the data is in Gauss, no worries. But earlier some of the problems what happened is answer in different units they have given, that is in SI units, but the data which is in CGS units or other units they have given. Then immediately you have to change. Now no need, no worries, you have to change into the Tesla. No, it is not like that. A certain place the horizontal component of the Earth magnetic field is 3 Gauss and the angle of dip at that place is 30 degree. The magnetic field of the Earth at that location is. Horizontal component means what? Okay. BH which is equal to B cos theta. So everything is given, you have to find out, direct question, it is magnetic field of the Earth at that point, net magnetic field. So B will be BH by cos theta. So BH is how much? 3 they have given. So cos theta is how much? Cos 30. Cos 30 means root 3 by 2, root 3 by 2, which becomes 2 into 3 divided by root 3. Okay. So next what you are going to get? 6 divided by root 3 you are going to get. And if you calculate means what is the answer you are going to get? Okay, just calculate 6 by root 3, 6 by root 3, or else you can see write down like this. So 3 into 2, isn't it? So this we are going to write down it as root 3 into 2 divided by root 3. 1 root 3 cancels, right? So root 3 into 2 which is equal to how much? That you should know. Okay, 1.4 into twice of that, isn't it? That is nothing but nearly 3.4 or nearly 3.5 G. Okay. See the square roots you must know, square roots of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 10. Okay. Okay, that you should know. Okay, that is the thing. So answer will be C. Okay. So this is what in today's class we are going to discuss. Okay. Okay. So next we are going to talk about one more questions, that is nothing but a magnetic needle has a magnetic moment, that is M is equal to 5 into 10 to the power minus 2 ampere meter square, and the moment of inertia I is equal to 8 into 10 to the power minus 6. It has a period of oscillation, that is T is equal to 25, and the magnetic field, the magnitude of the magnetic field is approximately, simple, right? The direct formula you have to substitute, T is equal to 2 pi into square root of I by MB, and B is nothing but T square which is equal to 4 pi square into I by MB, so that B we are going to get as 4 pi square I divided by M into T square. Can you calculate this? I think this you can calculate by on your own, and I just tell you the answer, that is for the 22nd question you are going to get 2.4 into 10 to the power minus 4 Tesla, 2.4 into 10 to the power minus 4 Tesla. Okay. So next we are going to talk about 23. A circular constant loop of magnetic momentum is in arbitrary orientation. Somewhere orientation is not like that x is equal to 0, theta is equal to 0 or like. In an external uniform magnetic field, the work done to rotate the loop by 30 degree about an axis perpendicular to its plane is okay. See, a circular constant loop, okay, of magnetic moment m. Magnetic moment m will be, that is perpendicular to n into I into a, right? M is equal to n into I into a. This is the plane. Now arbitrary orientation, m is in arbitrary orientation in an external uniform magnetic field. The work done to rotate the loop by 30 degree, about an axis is perpendicular to its plane. About an axis, okay, perpendicular to its plane means, see, if the plane is like this, okay, about an axis perpendicular plane means you have to rotate in this way. Do you have to do the work? No, because that is 90 degree, isn't it? So that a magnetic field is 90 degree, okay. So the work done to rotate the loop by 30 degree about an axis perpendicular to loop, 30 degree you have to rotate, perpendicular to the plane is, because there is no work is done if you rotate in this way. Against the magnetic field m into b you are going to rotate means you are going to get the work, okay. So mb you are going to give some angle means in that way, okay. Since it is perpendicular about an axis perpendicular to its plane means 0 work, that is w is equal to cos 90 degree, cos 90 is 0. You are not supposed to do any work for that, okay. Welcome to all of you once again to the physics classes. We were talking about competitive exam questions and we were talking about moving magnetism and matter, right? And synopsis part we have discussed 10 questions we were talking, and we were talking about some of the questions and we are reaching to the end. That is nothing but, in a permanent magnet at room temperature, permanent magnet means it is a ferromagnetic substance always. The individual molecules have non-zero magnetic moment which are perfectly aligned in room temperature, okay. So individual molecules have non-zero magnetic moment, it is not going to happen. Domains are all perfectly aligned in room temperature. Magnetic moment of each molecule is, domains are perfectly aligned. So there may be some of the things. See, the individual molecules have non-zero magnetic moment which are all perfectly aligned, okay. B is domains are all perfectly aligned. Magnetic moment of each molecule is, okay, some ambiguity is there in that option, maybe while printing all those things. And next then domains are partially aligned. So all the three options will tell us about except this domains. Ferromagnetic substance which we are going to use for magnetic to become make a permanent magnet, right? And for the permanent magnet room temperature it is partially aligned, not perfectly aligned. Perfectly when they are going to align, we have to apply some magnetic field and we have to make it as a perfect magnet, okay. So domains are partially aligned, okay. So next question we are going to see, that is coercivity of a magnet where the ferromagnet gets completely demagnetized. What do you mean by coercivity and retentivity? So this is B, okay, and this is H, isn't it? You are going to apply a solenoid is there, current you are going to apply for that, and magnetic field is going to generate, it increases, becomes saturated. Well, you reverse it, it won't come in the same point, no, it comes, deviates and come here. It has to come back like this only, but it won't come here. So this becomes retentivity. So again if you increase means in negative manner you have to increase. in such a way that all the magnetic field developed becomes 0. Then it will go in this way, again won't it come in this way, it will come in this way, and you are going to get the graph in this way. Hysteresis curve. Now this is retentivity and this is coercivity. Okay. The coercivity of a magnet, where the ferromagnet gets completely demagnetized, that is the negative field, is nothing but 3 into 10 to the power 3 ampere per meter. The minimum current required to be passed in a solenoid having 100 turns per meter, small letter n, 100 turns per meter, so that magnet gets completely demagnetized when placed inside the solenoid. Now what do you have to find out? Okay, so that magnet gets completely demagnetized when placed in the solenoid. So you have to find out the current, isn't it? The minimum current you have to require. So what is that minimum current means for the negative field? Here whatever that maximum they have given. Okay. So when solenoid, all those things considered, H is equal to means what? H you are going to get it as H is equal to N into I, isn't it? So H is given, that is negative, that is 3 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 1000 equal to current. No, N is 1000. Already it is given, N is equal to number of turns per unit length. So you are going to get it as 3 ampere. Option is D. Okay, next, at a point on Earth's surface, angle of dip is 25 degree. Angle of dip means what? Cos pi, that angle made by the horizontal component with the actual magnetic field, that is angle of dip, or we will call it is inclination. Okay, so it's very okay, isn't it? Easiest one. So delta is equal to 25 degree at a point B on Earth's surface. The angle of dip is delta is equal to minus 25 degree. We can interpret that. Okay, at a point B, okay, on the Earth's surface, the angle of dip is delta is equal to minus 25 degree. We can interpret that. On the Earth's surface, the angle of dip is there 25 degree. Somewhere you will go and you will find out. Okay, some other place, some other point. Now what is that magnetic field? How we can interpret? A and B are both located in the northern hemisphere. A and B are both, okay, are in the northern hemisphere. A located in the southern hemisphere and B is located in the northern hemisphere. A located in the northern hemisphere and B is located in the southern hemisphere. A and B are both located in the southern hemisphere. Okay, what will be the answer? So magnetic dip means how it is. Point A is given and point B is given. Somewhere it becomes minus. Okay, when you are going to get it as minus? So dip means in this way, no? It will be straight at the equator. You will go fall one side you are going to get. You will get to the south, another side you are going to get dip. In the opposite side you are going to calculate, right? So north will be north, in the direction of north it will remain, and north going to repel, or in the diagram we have written, okay, so north south, here it is going to, south, and it will be north, it is going to ally actually, but it is, we will call it as magnetic north, and this angle is in declination, and whatever it will aligns in this way, that is dip or inclination. No, now always how it is. So northern hemisphere always it is positive, and southern hemisphere always it is negative. Okay, that is what the way. We will go here northern hemisphere, it will be in this way bent south, and here it will be bent this way, opposite way. No, always in that way. So negative 25 they have given means, and same angle of dip is same for both the places. There must be one is in the one pole, another one in the another pole. Okay, or nearer to the another pole, not an exact pole or nearer to the pole. So then we can say that A located in the northern hemisphere and B located in the southern hemisphere, because the B is negative. In the opposite way you are going to calculate it. So okay, we were dealing with this problem. Try to find out on your own. Okay, we will do that. A magnet of total magnetic moment means M is equal to 10 to the power minus 2. Okay. So ampere meter square, which is in x direction. Now it is placed in the time varying magnetic field B, which is equal to B cos omega t. B is equal to B cos omega t, which is also in x direction. B is nothing but 1. So 1 cos omega t. So omega is given. So 1 cos of omega 0.125 into t is nothing but 1. Direction of the magnetic moment is 1 second. That it becomes, so it becomes cos, magnetic field becomes cos 0.125. So what we have to find out, reversing the direction means, see, already magnetic moment is in this direction, magnetic field in this direction, you have to reverse. So what is work done? Work done which is equal to cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2, I can write down. First it was 0, next it is going to become 180. So cos 0 is 1, cos 180 is minus 1. So it becomes W, which is equal to MB, I have to write down MB into 1 minus of minus plus, that is 2. So which is equal to 2 MB cos theta. So 2 into M is how much? 10 to the power minus 2 into B. B is nothing but B cos 0 1 to 5. Cos 0 means what? 1, right? Cos 0 1 to 5, how may it may be? So again it is less, right? 0.99 nearly, or 0.99 or 0.1, that is 1 itself. So I can write down answer nearly as 2 into 10 to the power minus 2, which is equal to 0.02 joules, I can write down, isn't it? And the answer will be 0.028 they have given. Okay, so 0.02, okay, that will be the answer, isn't it? So next you are going to get, there is nothing but the next question. Okay, so which is equal, just given 2 magnets of magnetic moment 4 ampere meter square and 3 ampere meter square are joined to form a cross, then there is plus marks. Then the magnetic moment of the combination is, magnetic moment of the combination, how it is, the net magnetic moment, one is in this way, one is in this way, right? The net magnetic moment becomes 90 degree, isn't it? It becomes 90 degree. So how we can find out? You are going to get the net magnetic moment, since it is a vector, m1 square plus m2 square, 90 degree. Okay, so cos 90 is 0, so a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. So 90 degree total net you are going to write down in this way. The magnetic moment is 4 and 3, so it is 4 square plus 3 square, which is equal to 5 square, right, which is equal to 5. The Pythagorean triplet you should know. Okay, so why did I write 3 4 5? 3 square plus 4 square is equal to 5 itself. Okay, like that is there, no, total. So this you should know. Okay, so the answer will be D. Okay, answer will be D. So next question we are going to move. There is nothing but 29th question, and we are going to end here. Some of the working sheets will be sent to you through any of the media, so you have to work it. It is only for magnetism and matter. Next we are going to begin with some other chapters. A magnetic needle free to rotate, vertical plane parallel to the magnetic meridian, parallel to the magnetic meridian. A magnetic needle free to rotate in a vertical plane, means in this way, vertical plane, okay, to the magnetic meridian has its north tip pointing down 22 degree, means dip, right, 22 degree. With the horizontal component of the earth magnetic field at the place is known to be 0.35 Gauss. Field at that place you have to find out. So it must be in Gauss. Okay, see, Tesla given means you have to turn it, you have to change it. Okay, but actually Gauss we should have to mention, but here in answers we didn't mention. But I told you that at the beginning, if you see the data, means you have to see the first your units, whether you have to change it or not, like that, first thing. And the second thing is given data, already everything is given. Cos 22 is 0.9272, that is given, and you have to find out. What you have to find out? The horizontal component of the earth magnetic field at that place is known to be 0.35 Gauss. Okay, field at that place, the actual magnetic field at that place, that you have to find out. Now how we are going to find out the horizontal component? Horizontal component is nothing but B cos pi. Cos B you have to find out. B will be BH divided by cos pi. So BH is how much? That is 0.35 Gauss. Let it be in Gauss itself. Cos pi they have given, that is nothing but cos 22, that is given 0.9272, nearly equal to 0.35 only you have to get. 0.35 only you have to get. So what will be the answer you are going to get? What will be the answer? But exact 0.35 you are not going to get. Divided by 1 means 0.35, little more than that you can expect, little more than that means it is 0.38. Okay, 0.38 you are going to get. Approximate you can do, or else you can do this. Okay, so that is the thing, that is nothing but 35 divided by 92 if you do, means that is sufficient. No, because into 100 you are doing easily. If you have to do, means now into 100 you do, that is nearly 92.72. I am going to take it as 92 itself. 35 divided by 92, find out the value, that must be nearly equal to 0.38. Only you may get like, or 3.355, but actually we have done already approximation, right? So it must be, we know that it is not 0.35, it is more than 0.35. What is the option? More than 3.35, that is 0.3, not that much large like 0.40, right? So in that way it is. Okay, so approximations you have to do, or else not all the time you do approximation. For that calculations exactly you should know. Now next we are going to talk about, okay, that is nothing but last question here. A magnetic needle suspended horizontally by an unspun silk fiber, okay, oscillates in the horizontal plane because of the restoring force originating mainly from a magnetic needle is there, is suspended using a silk fiber, oscillates horizontal plane it's oscillate because of the restoring force originating mainly from the torsion of the silk fiber, the horizontal component of the earth's magnetic field, the force of the gravity, all the above factors. Why? The force of gravity or all the above factors? What is that? What is that? Why? Okay. Why actually it rotates? Because it rotates only because of the magnetic field of the earth. If there is no magnetic field, do you think it will rotate? If there is magnetic field also, it will be remain same. So there is nothing to do with gravity. Okay, because of gravity it does not rotate. Okay, so restoring force originates why? because of the alliance in the magnetic field, that's why restoring torque is available. Don't think that it is a torsion of the silk fiber, no. Why? See, you are going to suspend this, now it rotate because of the earth's magnetic field, it rotate, but restoring force opposes and comes back again, no. That restoring force available because of the magnetic field. If magnetic field was not there, no need, it may be rotating like this, okay. That is mainly because of the horizontal component of the earth magnetic field. That's why the restoring torque or the this one is available there, applicable, okay. That's why the torsion or the rotating torque you are going to get, okay. So this is what about magnetism and matter we are going to talk, okay. So we have talked about this, so we are going to end here and we are going to send you the working sheets for this, okay. This is what magnetism matter, the questions we have solved here. So we are going to send some worksheets and I am going to send you, maybe you can solve it. So go through all the topics and all clearly so that you can understand in a better way, okay. Thank you very much.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.